by former senior group product manager over there at Reddit, all the way from beautiful Toronto, Canada. Craig, how you doing over there?
Doing great. How are you?
Can't complain, man. Can't complain. You're over there at the office right now?
Yeah, burning the midnight oil.
Oh my gosh. I thought at your level in the game, you don't really need to do that anymore.
I think I was watching Slim Thug talk the other day on YouTube of all people, and he was talking about his work ethic and like just how it's ingrained in some people just to work hard, and those are typically the people that come out on top. So I try to embrace some of that every day.
Know what? Steve Jobs said this. He says, I've never been successful at convincing somebody that didn't want to work hard. As a business owner of close to a decade right now, I could not agree more. I
And
absolutely could not agree more. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and see if we can help some people go and exit the 9 to 5 grind. So helping small businesses use AI to go ahead and generate leads and revenue. First things first is, for those of you guys that didn't get a chance to see, I actually did a testimonial with Craig recently about how he landed his director of product manager position. And one of the things that we really stood out was identifying business outcomes. And I think there was a lot of similarities between navigating the promotion cycle up in the world of product management. And then also, because at the end of the day, I think what I took away most from your testimonial was you were able to navigate the promotion cycle in the time frame that you did because you were able to identify what those business outcomes were.
yeah,
I don't know if you came from, it was because of coming from an MBA background, but I think it ties into a lot of the revenue and leads are the chief KPIs, right? So before we actually get into how we can help small businesses scale up and generate leads and revenue, could you tell everybody a little bit about your background, how you navigate into product management, and then currently like what you're doing right now?
yeah, of course. So my name is Craig. Nice to meet all of you virtually. I'm currently a director of product management for a company called Achievers up here in Toronto, focused on platform intelligence. So basically, embedding AI and agentic workflows into our product um, to help us help our customers do things better, basically. In terms of how I got here, I began my tech career as a co-founder of a software company, also in Toronto. We scaled that business pretty quickly. From there, I actually worked as a software engineer for a couple companies in the Bay, and then pivoted into product management from there at a company called Atlassian, the company behind Jira and Confluence and Trello and all those tools. Then was looking for something more mission driven, which is what took me to cybersecurity and ultimately to Reddit, where I joined the Reddit safety team as their first PM on safety core, which was just one team with a lot of engineers and no real mandate at the time. But what I explained to Rich in the testimonial was one of the first things I did when I got there was really try to understand the team's capabilities, domain space, domain expertise, and try to map that to business goals at the time. Things like growing daily active users, increasing revenue, decreasing bad content interactions, and really use that as sort of the blueprint to create a prioritized roadmap that helped justify what the team was doing, show how it laddered into overarching company objectives. And as a result of that, protected us from a lot of the thrash that PMs and PM engineering teams oftentimes face when they don't have those strong charters and strong reasons for doing the work that they're doing. And so, fast forward a few years, I ended up getting promoted at Reddit 3 times from senior product manager to senior group product manager, ultimately overseeing 3 teams and 3 ICs underneath me. So quite the ride. But yeah, to your original point, um, if I had to point to one thing that really helped me move up the ladder as quickly as I did, it was really about starting with org and business objectives and finding a way to tie the team's work to those.
Do you think that your ability to identify those outcomes came from your time as I actually did not know that you were a co-founder of at one point. Are you originally from Toronto or like did you just move over?
No, just moved there. Originally from Michigan.
Got it. Okay, like what do you think gave you the instinct of being able to identify like what those outcomes that actually matter to a business? Because I feel like a lot of people that work in tech and a lot of people that are trying to make this pivot and helping small businesses scale with AI, they also have a difficult time identifying what are like outcomes that actually matter to the business.
Sure. I mean, having a business background, I'm sure was helpful, but definitely not necessary. I mean, every PM when they start working in product is given some sort of prioritization framework. I'm sure most of the people on the call are familiar with RICE, for example. I mean, that's really all I did. It was listening. First of all, identifying relevant stakeholders throughout the organization when I first got there, meeting them, developing relationships with them, and listening more than anything to what their teams were focused on, what their goals were, because we were a platform team, which basically meant that if we wanted anything that we did to have any user impact, another internal team had to adopt it and use it in their product surface. So it really just started with meeting folks, developing relationships, and listening to what their teams were focused on, what their needs were, and then figuring out how our team's work could support them and help them meet their goals and their needs. But through that listening session, I had a whole host of use cases that our team could support. Use Rice to prioritize those, right? How many different customers would this impact? What is the nature of the impact? Like, what is the functional improvement that we're looking to make, and how impactful is that to the user experience compared to the experience today? If there's a way to tie the change to some sort of revenue opportunity, that's obviously another prioritization criteria. And then meeting with your engineering team to understand the technical complexity of some of these solutions that you're exploring, right? But it was really a framework that all PMs use and should know and have access to. It really wasn't some special experience or business training that I had prior to that. It was just listening and then prioritizing.
Got it. Got it. Okay. So for small businesses, what do you think out of everything that they can use AI for, right? If you had to take a wild guess, like what do you think they care about the most?
A couple of things. First and foremost, I think a lot of companies are trying to integrate AI into their UIs just because co consumers are expecting that now, users are expecting that. But the other thing is on the back end. That's the other place where a lot of people are trying to integrate AI into agentic workflows, automating processes that historically have been manual or take a really long time to complete by humans. So pithy terminology, front end, back end, I would say are the two sort of places where small businesses are looking to implement AI right now.
100%. Okay. So, like, with that said, what do you think small businesses would be prioritizing more, front end or back end?
100% the front end. Um, yeah, you. Anytime a business has to decide between acquiring more customers, earning more revenue, or improving internal processes, um, all else being equal, they'll choose the former.
Got it. And as a small business owner myself, I will tell you, Craig is 100% correct in terms of actually like making that. So, this is actually part of a series that we're running showing tech professionals how they can go ahead and actually make how they can go out there and actually navigate that because it seems that product managers and forward deployed engineers there's a few use cases. This is actually one of the best flexes that you can have for a side project is actually implementing, like actually showing them that you're getting paid to actually implement AI and getting paid for it. That's for one, if you're looking to go ahead and get after a job. Other things here is if you're looking to go ahead and ultimately someday escape the 9 to 5 entirely, this is probably like if you guys are like taking a look at what you just got on that the back of that board there and Q3, Like this is it's almost like I think it's insane, but product managers, I think, and other tech professionals compared to the you guys are competing against elite people, people that graduated with like Ivy League degrees, MBA degrees, probably the most overachiever personality types. Like imagine bringing like a special forces guy and putting him at a Walmart. Like that's actually what I have seen for people that have a tech background that's entered into the AI implementation space. So the question always comes down to how do you guys actually go ahead and do that? We offer two courses here. This isn't like a marketing driver for either one of those courses, but it's something that the community in itself is very interested in. I don't really see anybody imparting like knowledge about it. So I'm just going to go ahead and run this session because I've been getting a lot of calls about it. But at the end of this, there's no course to sell because we actually don't have a course to go down this rabbit hole. But I made it very simple. I had actually dinner with a group of friends on Friday night, and this is probably like the fifth time or sixth time I've heard it just this month, which is like, oh, I've been picking up AI consulting clients. And I said, okay, how much are you getting paid? And they said, oh, yeah, I'm not. And I hear this constantly over and over again. And it's kind of sad because, like, Craig, I think one of the things that hit for your YouTube testimonial was the how much revenue you drove for Reddit. When you take a look at the YouTube video, there's a spike into like most replayed portion. That was actually your most replayed portion of the YouTube testimonial.
Mm.
So you guys thinking like, yeah, I've driven like millions, like why can't like I go out there and get paid to help somebody bring in an extra 10 G's a week? Generally speaking, this is what the majority of the market's actually doing, and then I'll actually want to show people like maybe there's another way to go out there and attack it. Generally, it's scheduling some kind of free call or getting some kind of conversation started. AI in itself right now is a very hot topic. So when people say they are learning AI, if you're saying that you're doing it for a company, most small businesses, they've never heard of this role called product manager before, but they're kind of interested in hearing like, so what does that role do? Or forward deployed engineer, or like if they hear that you're working in tech, they're assuming that you are using AI at a world-class level versus like some kid from high school that's doing some implementation work. And let me tell you this, high school kids are crushing it in AI implementation. I guess it's because they're fearless and they're not overthinking it. And they also have a shit ton of time, no bills, and their parents are paying for everything, right? So if I could go back in time, I'd freaking totally crush this field. But the conversation or the interaction always starts off with like, let's go out there and have some kind of chat. And it always leads to, I'm gonna build some free shit for you. And it's because the business owner could be a dentist, the business owner could be a chiropractor, the business owner could be your local dog groomer, like, dry cleaner, whatever. Um, this whole industry, even though we're exposed to things like Slack and CRMs and like automations and stuff, they don't operate that way, but they are extremely liquid in terms of cash. They're thinking to themselves, well, I would like to use AI to do a bunch of this stuff. And they're thinking, like, well, I don't really know what I need you to build. I never really thought about it, but I know I want to use it. The second thing here is I don't really want to pay you if I can get away with not paying you. But let's just say if I did want to pay you, I can't really justify paying you if I don't really understand the return. And you have to kind of think like a small business owner, right? Like if I'm a dry cleaner and like I'm gonna invest in a bigger washing machine, I understand the ROI is, well, we could do five smaller loads versus one bigger load. And I'm saving how much water. I'm really just taking, it's not a personally, they're trying to attack you or take advantage of you. It's they're just having a really difficult time justifying the math. And then you're thinking to yourself, well, for most people that are in tech trying to make this transition, you already have a job. So you're also not necessarily in a hurry to ask for cash. Also, at the same time as you also don't know what to ask for. You don't really have a scope of the project. You don't really have how much time is going to be required, how much of your energy, and you're kind of just having fun building, which is actually really cool. So you're going to build a bunch of stuff like, hey, I'm going to show you how to prompt up a website on Lovable and vibe code this website out. And you're thinking, that's kind of cool, but like, why am I paying 5 grand for that? I'm not, right? And you're going to hope for this referral. What those referrals, they either never come or they just lead to more free calls, which is not great. So there's two ends of the business which you can actually go ahead and actually focus on. And in any business, I'm doing it for you guys right now, 0 to 1 in real time. It's like Craig mentioned, there's the front end of the business, which is lead generation. There is some middle part of the business where it's going to be sales acquisition. And then, generally speaking, on the back, there's going to be some kind of customer fulfillment, which is getting what it is that them being able to buy from you what you said you were going to sell them. So either the product or the service that is saving them whatever time, making them more money, or helping make that problem go away. So what most people do is the default is let me focus on here, focus on saving time. So I've actually seen people, these are some very common use cases. Um, Take, for example, a travel agency. I've actually seen this thing live where they have a lot of client entertainment expenses. And they're saying, like, we spend one full Saturday every month, usually the last Saturday, totaling up everybody's receipts. And they're doing it manually. Do you think AI can go out there and help with that? 100%, right? You dig in. But if it's between that versus generating new leads, what do you think takes priority? Probably new leads. And I'll tell you why. It's because this, at the end of the day, I've seen people build Oscar winning shit. And when it came down to ask for payment, they didn't get one. Also, this isn't scalable because every single time you deal with the new business, so let's just say they did pay you for something, right? Hey, my cousin has a dry cleaner. You want to go ahead and talk to him? Yeah, sure. You're learning that process. Again, you're trading time for money. So the better thing to go ahead and do is actually, and I'm not specifically calling this company out, but the best way for you to go ahead, the one thing that is very scalable is how you can implement AI to help a company scale ads. Why? Because almost every business is running ads. Every business is running ads, and even people that cannot afford to hire their own paid ads person. So, in terms of running ads, not a very complicated process. Some people are very good at doing it, some people are not, but it's an extremely time-consuming process. But it's probably a process that's actually very much worth your time. But for somebody like most people that actually have a family, you might not have the time to go out there and blow on actually learning how to do it effectively and constantly monitoring it, right? So you can take ads. Well, what else do you guys need? It's like analyze how my ads are actually performing and what we can do to improve these ads. That is something that every business can go out there and use. So if you put that as a very good entryway into breaking into almost every business, because either you're running ads right now, in which case you either have a really good budget and you're not getting the return that you want. Another thing here is you either don't really have a budget to hire somebody, but you're still willing to spend the budget on your own. You can actually go out there and actually, you would really want to go ahead and learn it on your own. The current model to breaking into AI implementation is to offer a low ticket offer on WAP, which is an offer plus a course. Let me go ahead and actually explain this to you. So right here, we have a list of resources. We have some resume templates right here. Okay. And then we have a bunch of other stuff that I'm not going to show y'all, but we have a resume template right here. And then we've also done like we have some interview questions right here. Or for like this, we have this playbook to go ahead and make a transition over to forward deployed engineering. So you want to remove as much time talking to an unpaid person as possible. Because it's like it's just time and energy that you're just absolutely burning, right? Because people are just naturally curious, and you got people that just have a lot of time. That's just killing your time. We understand that here very, very, very well. So you want to offer them something ridiculously low, like I'm going to give you a product that's going to show you how you can analyze your ads. It's not a course, it's a digital product. Why? Because you're not just getting a list of videos, but I'm going to iron out for you as much of the stuff that you need so you can basically just plug and play. So think of this kind of like you want to cook at home, but you don't really want to do all the cooking. So you're going to go to Whole Foods and get a lasagna and pop it into the oven. The salad you'll do on your own, but like you're not really trying to get your hands that dirty, right? That's exactly what it is that we're offering. Throughout this low ticket offer, and this is actually how the market's actually operating right now in the world of like digital online monetization, is in each and every one of these pages, I now have a video for them to go ahead and watch. Because I'll tell you this, something that pisses non-technical folks like me off is hearing the word GitHub repo. I put everything for you on this. Like, what am I supposed to do with this shit? What? They're like, well, you could read it. Like, no, 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 no. Bruh. You gotta walk people through this shit like they're a freaking golden retriever. They step by step from the very beginning. In fact, not even like you gotta get done recording all this, and then at the very end of it, you record a video up on top showing them how to fucking navigate the whole thing so that they freaking know what to go ahead and do. This tool now effectively does all of the marinating for you for them to go out there and now want to pay you the 5, 6, 7, 10 G's a month for your retainer. Because now they've gotten a chance to go out there and basically know you. This works out pretty much for any service that you can go out there and sell for, right? So if I gave you, I'll give you guys an example. If I gave you a list of workout PDFs, and it says do 5 sets of incline bench press. Yeah, you could see the text, but it would be very different if Craig was actually saying, you want to do it like this. This is how you want to go ahead and breathe. And this is why, if you were training with me one on one, this is what we would be working on. That'd be great. If I was to go out there and sell this as a foreign language workbook and say these are like 500 sentences you'd know for French, right? You're looking to go ahead and travel to France, looking to impress, your girlfriend or boyfriend's parents. This is what it is that you need to know. We have one chapter here. This is going to get you out of the airport. This is going to get you from the airport to your hotel. This is going to help you check into the hotel. This is going to help you show off ordering at the restaurant. And then this is basically all it is that you need to know. These are the only 500 sentences in this entire language, and you're going to sound like a rock star. Well, this entire time, I'm going to give you all of the vocab words. I'm going to give you all of the assets, but I'm also going to be walking you through how to use this, right? I'm going to show you guys how to go out there and use this. Think about like the most effective way for people to go ahead and learn is actually if that person was sitting right next to you and just walking you through step by step. This is actually, that process has not changed and will not change with AI. The most effective, well, now you can go out there and build out like a digital voice tutor, right? So for me, I'll give y'all another very good example is this. We get a lot of calls from a lot of people, and they're basically like, how are you going to help me get a product manager job? Absolute waste of time. So you know what we do? We have a digital voice AI agent to filter out those people. So I showed how I was going to build out the voice AI agent from the very start to the very beginning. I showed how I was going to prompt it. These are the questions people ask us. These are the responses we wanted. This is how we tested the voice AI agent with our team. So we make sure that the voice AI agent does not misrepresent us. And I'm going to give them two options. You can, for 27 bucks, buy the voice AI agent and you can go ahead and install it on your own. And we're going to give you this little booklet and show you, no matter what business that you have, from dog groomer to chiropractor, how you can put together this voice AI agent. And you know what? And I'm going to go out there and hype you up and say, you want to learn these skills. And ain't nobody going to argue with that. They're going to say, yeah, I want to learn these skills. Perfecto. Because you want to know what we're going to do next? That whole booklet now is going to sell them on. You could do this on your own, or you can have my team for 5Gs build this shit out for you. And I'll tell you guys why this needs to work out. This is actually not for me. This is actually from Google. So 7-11-4. You guys know I spent 2 years in Korea. A lot of people thought I was being a degen there. I actually studied marketing over there. Like, so when all this AI basically slop basically came out, what Google figured out and why there were so many layoffs was like when AI came out, the first area that got flooded was content. And businesses across every single niche and sector was just like, why is this so difficult to acquire the customer right now? Because there's too much content. When I joined this business, the only thing you had to transition to product management was cracking the PM interview. That was it. That we had one other competitor, and then there was us. So we're bagging all the cash. Now every 2 days, I'm getting a new competitor. So people actually they don't know who to trust. They don't know where to move. They don't know what to do. So Google was like, is it just us? Because Google makes the majority of their money on ads, and so does Meta. So they realized something. They're like 7-11-4. Know what this means? You need 7 hours of engagement, and you need to hear this thing 11 times over. That's 77 hours, and you need to hear it 4 different ways to convert a customer. Now, obviously, if you hung out with me for 77 hours, your chances of enrolling for one of our either product management or forward deployed engineering programs dramatically goes up. It's almost 100% conversion rate. There's no way you could be hanging out with Rich for 77 hours and you're not enrolling. The problem is you don't have 77 hours to convert a customer. The first 3 hours of trust building is just them building the trust. The next 2 hours is them like I'm trying like right now, Craig's looking at me right now, right? And he's intrigued. We've already worked and you've already landed jobs with us. Your motivation for pivoting is already established. Your trust is already here. But even I want everybody to resonate this feeling right now. This is why people that are getting jobs have a YouTube channel, is because the hiring team is getting a chance to know them before they're even talking to them. And this is why you have to create content. And this is actually why we've opened up our entire marketing team to basically be your freaking webinar marketing platform. You want to know why? Is because you need that time to come through. In the span of like any sales cycle, 90% of the revenue is actually done on follow-ups. And we've proven this out 9 years of the business. Like, hey, you want to enroll? No. Follow up. Follow up. Most of our business is actually done on the 12th to the 15th follow up. Because they see us landing people jobs, right? So if you're thinking right now, oh shit, Rich, I'm gonna go out there and build voice AI agents and crush it, you're really not. Like, not the first round. You're not going to be any more successful than that than the Vikings were taking Paris at the first attempt. Them mother lovers just kept coming back. Spoiler alert. They made it into Paris, They just kept coming and gathering data and coming and coming. They probably had they had 6 years of whiteboarding sessions and they basically pierced through. So like, don't think you're gonna get them on the first attempt. I don't want anybody to think negatively because I actually had somebody recently just pull payment. And they got lucky, but like they also haven't closed anybody since. And they're like, "Oh shit, Rich." I was like, "Yo, man, if it was easy, everybody would be doing it." That's actually where like that's actually where the tilt basically shoots up. So like build out your thing in public first. So I'm gonna give you guys the whole playbook. Whatever service you guys are thinking about attacking or niche, it doesn't make a difference because it doesn't matter if it's my business, Anthropic, a dentist, dog groomer, translation service, heck, Korean Sunday school in New York City. You are going to run ads. So make that the medium. Like, there's no business right now that's not going to have a payment processor. There's no business that can operate on, like, that's not going to operate on electricity. It's going to go across the board. So the thing that I would like everybody to go ahead and actually focus on is, give me a quick second, is you want to start off by building this thing from 0 to 1. And this is how like we've had some people that have actually asked us like how do you monetize a vibe coding application? I'll go ahead and tell you. They do this methodology too. You literally see some 19-year-old kid said, and I'm gonna build a vibe code. I'm gonna vibe code an app that's gonna grab me $10,000 a month. I have no idea what I'm gonna do. And they're literally showing you from episode 1, 2, 3 how they're prompting, like, hey, chat, I want to go ahead and build a vibe code application that's going to get me $10,000 a month. What do you think I should build? I don't have a coding background. I never written a line of code. And I just don't really want to do that much work. And it's got to be a space that I can break into, blah, 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 blah. And they will start actually building out like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 prototypes. And they're like, okay, and what give me a playbook? And they're doing that. This entire time, people are watching. And then what ends up happening is when the app is done, so let's just say it's a job hunting app or a dating app, a lot of the people that end up buying it, what these people figured out was it's not even so much the app, like they're not looking to get dates on the app or they're not looking to get jobs on the app. They're just buying it because they're a fan of Craig and they want to see the finished product because it's like a freaking $20 subscription, you know? So like you create all of the distribution organically up front, and then at the end of it, your finished product, you sell it to them at a low ticket discount, and then you basically just marinate them. Like at that point, it's just so much easier because your 77 hours, your 77 hours is just done. Does that make sense? There's probably like a lot of questions that you guys actually have. By all means, ask away. I'm here to go out there and try to, yeah, you know, sorry, just saw cash come through. Oh, oh, what am I? Oh man, oh, 왔어. Like oh, freaking A. Last thing I'll leave you guys with is basically this. Okay. My man here, James, is actually on it, and then that's actually why we document everything. Same thing. January here, I know it's a little blurry, but $216, $189, $386, $941, $1,600. June was like 1765, and then July, boom, 10 grand. You want to know why? Because by that time, your eggs are ready to hatch. Because when you just ask for payment up front, like people are not going to get it. But if I ask you for 17 bucks, you'll hand it over, right? Like what's 17 bucks? Like, And then because you have the video, it's very important you guys have the video because it's like the GitHub repo. Like literally on a GitHub repo, Craig, you could put down a Swiss bank account number, the address of the bank, along with show up to Toronto train station in locker 147. enter this combo. There's a free first class plane ticket. You fly to Zurich, meet Hans at 2 o'clock, and he'll hand you $10 million in cash and another 8 million. You wouldn't know it. Because like people like people's focus after April 2022, the first area that was rushed was content. And it's AI slot, right? Everybody's everybody's like focus after that just plummeted. So like brains are literally rotting right now. Like literally, like just think about like a 90-day banana. It's not even in your fridge, it's been left out on your porch in the summer day. That's exactly what it is, right? So getting people to think, it's a very, very, very critical skill. So they need more time right now. What they're finding out is they need more time for the transaction to go out there and actually happen. So you're not gonna like go out there and just get it on the first round. Prepare to spend the next. I hope I don't crush anybody's spirits, but we're gonna be running this as a weekly series, not just with Craig, but with multiple people. Stick with it here because my man that actually did it, James. These were actual Stripe payouts. It's like $81, $113. You need that funnel to just like go in. This is actually also why like the creator VC model. So I don't know if you guys heard of like anti-fund VC, right? Which is Logan Paul and like the Paul brothers, they're going into like tech VC right now. And all these creators, they're getting into this space because they're like, you the most important thing if you have this crazy app right now, Craig, is you need distribution. I have distribution. They both have podcasts, they have partnerships. They're like, name anybody you need to get on the phone right now, anywhere in the world. And they're like, tops out 24 hours, we'll get them on the phone. Because they have access to distribution right now. So you need to create the distribution up front. And this is the hardest part is getting the upfront distribution. This is actually why at Tech Careers, we are attacking this problem as a group, because like Craig, you have a family. There's not every single day that you're going to be able to do content. Also, if you could put content out every single day, people get tired of the same people saying the same shit. How many times can you say like intermittent fasting, cold plunge, sleep for 8 hours, and like make sure you're like rotating on recovery day, right? People know what they need to do to get the body they want, They got to hear it for like, that's actually why they said they need to hear it 7 hours straight of how this shit works for 7 hours. They need to hear this motherfucker say it 11 times over. That's 77 hours. And they need to hear it across 4 different platforms. So that's why when you guys see us on Instagram, we have 20 influencers a day saying FDE, FDE, FDE. Because you want to know why? Because like they can't just hear it from one voice. They're gonna hear it from you guys one time. And you guys know what's really crazy is like, you know, um, my friends and I would talk about going to Dubai. And hilariously enough, when I pick up my phone on an Uber app, and then I'm looking at my iPhone, Instagram on my way back to my apartment. All I see is Dubai. Your phone's listening to all your shit, right? Dubai, like, yeah. So like whatever it is, if you guys are pitching like voice AI agents, AI receptionists, whatever it is, job hunting app, whatever it is, just know that phone's algorithm, because those sneaky bastards are listening to every freaking thing we're saying. Like it's gonna retarget these people. So like you have this whatchamacallit, Mr. Beast, same thing. He actually acquired a bank called Step because what like people the bank account they open when they're 15 or 16 with their parents, they stay with that bank pretty much until they die. Customer acquisition costs for the last 10 years, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, they know this. That's why they spend so much time targeting this niche. These creators and these influencers right now, they're like, why the hell should I be an influencer to promote this for JP Morgan? I got enough to just do this on my own. So now these are actually some of the most awesome places to be a product manager right now because they're trying to attract the best tech talent to work for them to get into this game because they don't know anything about it. But they have distribution. They got 10, 20, 100 million followers. So if Mr. B says, hey, the first step in financial literacy or like becoming an adult is to start a step bank account, he already proved it. Like he started like a vegan burger, that thing just shot up. He started like gluten-free cookies, that thing just shot up because you want to know why? He has that much distribution. So build up your distribution up front. Give insanely good content. Like we're not asking you guys for anything here. I mean, freaking that. This is all free information, you know. Give up because now they're thinking, holy crap. If the free shit is this good, the paid shit must be 50 million times more legit. Let me give you guys a little secret. Usually the free stuff is way better than the paid stuff. Because the free stuff you're constantly updating, right? The paid stuff, not for us though. We always update our paid stuff's way better than our free shit. But then you give them a little bit of a freaking beef jerky. $17, $7, $9. I have right now 19,000 subscribers on my Substack. I sold 100 resumes for $1. What'd you get? What'd you guys think I made out that day? This is actually the part of the game where shit starts getting fun, right? So like any questions, get into it early because all the high school kids, they're basically having all the fun with this. This is where the entire market's going. I know some job hunters right now all of the money right now that's being made in AI is all helping with AI education and adoption. The best way for you to flex your way to get into the Anthropics, the open AIs, is just showing them that you're doing it for small businesses right now and actually doing it very publicly. So maybe not every week, but we would love to invite Craig here back like once a month. And honestly, the other thing here is people they're naturally just going to gravitate towards people that they like more you know, like for the Chinese Korean product management and forward deployed engineering market, we own that real estate, baby. We do not discriminate. We take customers anytime, any place, anywhere, right? But you're gonna have that. So like everybody has their own little corner. But the craziest thing is you guys see we do a lot of company promotion, Anthropic, OpenAI. We tag them on. They also know if they need to get it out to a specific demographic, they reach out to certain people that own specific target demographics. So like, and the digital real estate is very big. So there's no course here to sell unless you're trying to go out there and transition to AI product management or forward deployed engineering. But whether you have a job or if you don't have a job, I think this is actually very cool because I'll tell you guys why. Um, Number one, showing companies that you're monetizing is the greatest flex because you're showing them that you're driving real results in real time. Number two, monetizing off the job hunt is more fun because a lot of you right now hate the job hunt because you're thinking you're taking L's up until I got to do all this to get a round one, and then a round two, and then I got to do a case study, and then I got to do a presentation for people I can't even bring myself to pretend to respect. And then I got to go ahead and wait for them to talk to six other people. Two of them happen to be my friends. I know because we're on the unemployed group chat. And they're telling me, oh, I'm interviewing with Achievers this week. Oh, you too? And then you're waiting for this offer just so that they can lowball your offer. You want to know why they're lowballing your offer? Because they think you have no options, right? And sometimes they can smell the desperation. I mean, unless you're a psychopath, you can kind of lie without remorse, right? But, and then you're doing all that for a job. Like, nobody's turned on for a job right now. You are monetizing before the job hunt. If you get rejected from the job, you don't really care because you have money coming in from the other side. If anything, they're actually going to pay you more because you have money coming in from the other side. And these opportunities create other opportunities. Because this entire time, when I'm creating content, something else that I also wanted to let you guys know, as you guys all know, I'm the 11 Labs ambassador, and so is my mate here, James. This entire time that I'm building in public, I am tagging Claude. I'm tagging 11 Labs, the voice AI agent company. I'm tagging all the AI tools that I'm using this entire way through. So I'm actually not doing this for free, right? So like, I'm voice prompting with GenSpark. I'm using Notion for my documentation. I'm using Claude for all of the prompting and the strategy, and I'm using 11 Labs for the voice, and I'm connecting everything on our CRM, which is on GHL. Everybody is giving me a referral fee. So, because I'm making them a live commercial. So really, it's not like even before I collect the 17 or $27 from them, I'm already getting paid, right? I'm already getting paid, you know. So, yeah, not to mention YouTube is also another revenue engine for us because we're providing educational content. Yeah, I think I can say this. My people eat the whole animal. We leave no crumbs behind. So go out there, build in public, tag, and then you get all these brand ambassador badges. Like one of the people that's in our program right now, Sweta, she's actually using. She just became a Cursor ambassador. We're actually setting up an event next week to get all the brand ambassadorships. Cursor is actually the hottest right now, is because they can switch between models because we're, in case you haven't heard, we're past the token maxing phase and we're in the token saving phase right now. And they found this is actually how they got $60 billion from Elon, right? So when we're actually doing this, you're actually not doing it for free. You're actually attaching all these brands with you, uh, and they also give you a lot of exposure too. So like this. Everything that we're doing right now, we are tagging YouTube. Just even mentioning Hicksfield, I'm tagging Hicksfield. I'm tagging Airtable. I'm tagging Notion. I'm tagging it all. Like if Bad Bunny comes out with, a fitness wristband, even if he doesn't promote it, people will research it because they're a big fan of Bad Bunny, you know? So like, I don't know if you guys last story of the day, I don't know if you guys ever heard of this company called Whoop, LeBron. Uh, like that company almost filed for bankruptcy. I think the guy's wife was telling him to get a real job. And for whatever reason, LeBron James walked on the court with his fitness bracelet. And that was it. That was all he needed to see. And sales just went out there and they shot up for it. Streaming right now is making like a very, very, very big comeback. And actually want to give you guys one more thing. Anthropic. This is a career. They're paying for this job right now and they're hiring for multiple. They have multiple events lead. There's another one here called another event enterprise community lead. And Anthropic is going to go ahead and pay you $400,000 just to host parties for tech people. You know the next role that OpenAI also has this other role too. You want to know this other role that and all the other tech companies, Cursor has this role, and I actually tell people, don't be a product manager, do this. Hosting parties is way more fun than the Rice framework, Moscow, and all that. But they're realizing like if we want to get people's attention to do anything, like they said, like Fable 5.5 just dropped. People are like, what am I doing with that? But if you hosted a party and actually show people how to use Fable 5.1, right, you're going to get a lot more adoption that way. The next role that's coming out in the next 45 days, my friends in recruiting have already given me the inside scoop, is streamer. Companies are going to be hiring streamers. Why do you think we're doing so much live content? I'm actually like, for whoever's interested, I'm going to be positioning you guys for those roles. Like, because they're seeing how much these people on Twitch and Discord are just printing because you have like Like, take a look at iShow speed. You have like 20,000, 30,000 eyeballs fixated on you for 2, 3, 4 hours. Craig, by all means, question.
So another question. I just want to let you know I have a call in 2 minutes. I have to drop.
Dude, hop. But we appreciate your time. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank
Uh,
you.
no, we'll see you in Toronto real soon. Real
Sounds
soon,
good.
man.
Sounds
Uh,
good. Take care.
Anybody else have any other questions before we wrap up? We got 2 more minutes on the dot. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, man. Anybody? Any questions going once or twice? No? All right. Thank y'all so much for showing up. Hang on.